Good evening. This is the last class of mole concept. I know I didn't call this some basic concepts of chemistry. I'm calling this mole concept because some basic concepts of chemistry NCERT में और भी चीजें हैं छोटी छोटी जो आपको जरूर पढ़नी चाहिए. But जो mole concept है उसमें students को बहुत मुश्किल होती है. So here's me trying to help you out with that. And this is the last session. If you haven't seen the first 5 sessions, check them out. Playlist है on the JEE channel. And ये session relevant किसके लिए है? Anybody who's moving to 11th grade, irrespective of कौन सा एग्जाम आप लिख रहे हो, that's not important. The basics I'm teaching you will help you with the whole of chemistry for 11th and 12th, irrespective of whether you're in a state board or you're doing JEE, you're doing NEET, you're doing JEE Advanced. जो भी आप कर रहे हो, BITS पढ़ाई करो, VIT, SRM, anything, this will definitely help you. Good evening, good evening. मेरी आवाज साफ आ रही है? Are you able to see me and hear me? शौर्य अग्रवाल जी, वरुण आभा, Student Ash, good to see you all. Varun Creation, all right, brilliant. Shall we get started? शुरू किया जाए आज का session. All right. So I'm going to do a bit of a recap of what we did in the last time, and we'll do some new things as well, right? So last class हमने कहाँ end की थी? It was some time back. I know I was doing a few sessions for your NEET friends. If you have, know people who are studying for NEET, they can also come check these sessions out. It's all right. ठीक है? NEET का भी paper हुआ था Sunday को. Looking at that paper and looking at the current JEE main paper, I feel that just doing NCERT and exemplar is more than enough for JEE main, and just doing NCERT inside out is more than enough for NEET. मैं आपको बहुत honestly बोल रहा हूँ, right? I'm being very straight with you. You don't need anything extra. I know students like doing a lot of extra things, but कोई चीज अगर नहीं समझ में आती है, then sure, come watch these videos and you'll ace everything else. Yeah, students are sure. Try, you'll catch up. ठीक है? All right. So n factor, what is n factor? We're going to focus on normality in this session. We're going to do write what आज करने क्या वाले? Let me write that down. It's there in the name of the session, but anyway I'll लिख देता हूँ. Not oops कहाँ गया ये pen? Okay, let's write here. Normality का concept क्या होता है? We will also do titrations in general, and we do something special called back titration. Yeah, which again is just a coaching thing that we teach. But it's not that complicated. I'm going to tell you without even giving you any theory. हम लोग साथ में back titration कर लेंगे. It's that straightforward. कुछ complicated नहीं. एक सवाल के through we'll understand that last में. ठीक है. What is n factor? We kind of ended that last session with that, right? N factor is molar mass by equivalent mass. In fact, I think we ended last class by talking about what is equivalent mass. Equivalent mass क्या था? It is the mass of a substance that interacts with 1 mole of electron. उससे पहले पुरानी definition थी. अच्छा, 1 ग्राम हाइड्रोजन, 35.5 ग्राम क्लोरीन, 16 ग्राम नहीं, ऑक्सीजन का थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड था. ऑक्सीजन का थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड था. खैर, then we derived or we wrote down कि देखो देखिए n factor is n by m. How is that? Because m is, what is m? M is the given mass divided by molar mass, right? And what is n? This is the given mass divided by equivalent mass. तो you divide both of these things, आपको ये मिल जाएगा, right? Inversely proportional मिल जाता है. So m into capital M is n into equivalent mass. ठीक है. So n factor, and I told you a cheap way to remember this was m into n is equal to n because n alphabetically m के बाद आता है A B C D अगर if you go. ठीक है. Okay. Now let's look at this concept of equivalence with some with an example. नहीं, कुछ नहीं करता है आभा, ये सब नहीं होता है आजकल, कुछ नहीं होता है. आप देख लेना आभा. इफ यू वांट टू डू नीट क्वेश्चंस, वो नीट के जो 50 क्वेश्चंस थे, आई एम गोइंग टू सॉल्व ऑन द नीट चैनल 7 बजे थर्सडे को. आई सॉल्व, यू विल सी, यू विल डू दोस क्वेश्चंस, अ लॉट ऑफ दोस क्वेश्चंस यू विल बी एबल टू डू. ठीक है. और आई विल टेल यू हाउ टू डू देम अगर इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू फिगर इट आउट ड्यूरिंग द सेशन एंड you've just joined 11th. ट्रस्ट मी, हो जाएगा, आराम से हो जाएगा. Let's take this example. CuCl2 plus zinc gives you ZnCl2 plus Cu. This is known as a redox reaction. Redox. Oxygen hydrogen तो देखेंगे redox कैसा है, क्योंकि electrons are taking part in the reaction. We'll do an entire chapter of redox reactions. अगर if you're in a hurry, in the description there is a link, and also here is the link to my sessions in general which you can check out. ठीक है. redox reaction अगर आपको देखना है माने आप देख लेना. ठीक है. But this is for all practical purposes a redox reaction. ठीक है. इसमें क्या, how do I know it is redox reaction? ये कॉपर भाई साहब, जो कॉपर का आयन है वो एक्सेप्ट करता है 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स और बन जाता है कॉपर, एंड दिस प्रोसेस इज नोन एज रिडक्शन. ठीक है. डोंट वरी, आई एम नॉट डूइंग रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन राइट नाउ, जस्ट गिविंग यू अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ एन इंट्रोडक्शन. ठीक है. रिडक्शन क्यों? क्योंकि उसने इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एक्सेप्ट किए. ठीक है. आई हैव डन ऑल ऑफ दिस बिफोर द प्रीवियस सेशन, देख लेना. One ion requires 2 electrons. So 1 mole of ions will require 2 moles of electrons. Right? 2 moles of electrons. Mole matlab 2 into Na, which means is this. We good? Just give me a quick thumbs up. I'm going very slow and steady on this. This is good, right? You're able to follow this? Yeah, exactly. Electron added. Perfect. Yeah. So, this is good. But I need to know ki, what mass to get equals. What mass of Cu interacts with my, I'm using the word interacts loosely, right? Because it could be Cu plus to Cu2 plus to Cu or Cu. Don't know. Reaction can go in both ways. I can have this reaction or I can have the opposite reaction also. दोनों चीज हो सकती हैं. That's wonderful. तो इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि what mass of copper interacts with 1 mole of electrons. Why? Because 1 mole of electrons जो electrons जो interact करेगा, that is the equivalent mass. So I can say that half a mole of copper will need Na electron, मतलब 1 mole electrons. Awesome. So what is the gram equivalent mass now of copper? It is the given mass divided by 2. Now where did that 2 come from? Write this equation down. Cu2 plus 2 electrons gives me Cu. Khatam. This is equivalent. Now you can do this for anything. So aluminium का क्या equivalent होगा? For aluminium, and as I told you, reaction इस तरफ उस तरफ कुछ भी हो सकता है. अब ये इस तरफ उस तरफ क्या मतलब है? Wait, 12th standard में पढ़ाया जाएगा. ठीक है. What is this? इस तरफ उस तरफ. How do I make the reaction go this way or that way? 12th standard, not now. Electrochemistry. Again, मैंने किया हुआ है. देख लेना बाद में. Okay. इसका क्या होगा? It will be molar mass by 3. I have given you all of these things. This is how you have come to the conclusion that copper sulfate का equivalent mass will be whatever it is. Molar mass divided by 2. Similarly, Al2SO4 whole thrice का क्या होगा? Divided by 6. क्यों? क्योंकि total charge on all of the positive ions, all of the negative ions, ये सब कहानी कहां से आई? From this itself. Okay, number of electrons. That's the general idea. Yes, Abha, very safely you can take it as valency. But देखो Abha, जब मैंने valency बोली वो एक ion के लिए था. See now salt के लिए things become a little complicated. If you have seen my last session, salts का it is the total charge. Why is it total charge? Think about it like this. एक salt में 2 aluminium atoms हैं. Let's analyze this aluminium business, है ना? एक salt में of एक mole of Al2SO4 में why do you take 6? 6 क्यों लेते हो? What is this magic number 6? Let's take aluminum example. You can also try with the sulfate का example. Aluminum के example से I have 2 aluminium 3 plus ions. If I have 2 ions, they will require 6 electrons. खत्म. Hence total charge. Sulfate के point of view से ले लो. SO4 2 minus will accept, no, it will let go of 2 electrons. नहीं, ये थोड़ा complicated है. इसको छोड़ दो. ठीक है. This electron वाला business is easier to understand with aluminum. Sulfate का थोड़ा complicated है. Sulfate does not just become SO4 without a charge, right? That's not what happens there. So थोड़ा complicated, उसको छोड़ दो. ठीक है. But at our level right now, at our level, अभी के level के लिए हम लोग we can do this. Let's go on. It doesn't matter Abha. Whether you take SO4 or Al, it is the same, no? देखो, in a compound, the charge has to be same. It's an ionic compound. तो आप ionic charge aluminum को लो या sulfur का लो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? It's the same, है ना? The understanding is easier with aluminium. Sulfate that understanding is difficult. I told you with aluminium how it's easy to see. How do you get this number 6? Because एक aluminium requires 3, so 2 will require 6. खत्म, right? That's it. Sulfate is a little complicated, right? Because sulfate you will say 2, but it is not accepting or losing electrons. It's not doing anything of that sort. So we won't talk about that. ठीक है? All right. So summary of stuff so far. What is normality? Gram equivalent of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Number of gram equivalents क्या था? Weight divided by gram equivalent weight. This is it. I can also write this out as okay, gram equivalent divided by volume, and you got to convert liters. Okay, hypothetically this is salt A2B3 2 minus. That's not a salt. That's an ion. That's an ion. That's not a salt, Abba. It's not hard at all, student Ash. It is just new. कुछ hard नहीं है. It is just that कि देखो 10th में you had 3 chapters, right, in chemistry. Now you have 30 chapters, 11th and 12th. 30 से कम कर दो ठीक है, maybe 25 हो गया, 23 हो गया. So it's 10 times, right? 8, 10 times, 8 गुना, 7 गुना, 7 times, 8 times. So it's a lot. That's the main thing. It's not that difficult. It's just quantity बहुत ज़्यादा है. Or you just need a good book to read from. Okay. Let's figure out the idea of neutralization. This is the next part of today's class. In the first 10 minutes, we have figured out everything to do with क्या क्या किया अभी तक हमने. Normality का cover कर लिया, equivalence का idea cover कर लिया, and we started off with n factor, right? And I teach Chem is basically my social handle, like whatever, Discord, Telegram, and all that. So n factor, equivalence ka idea is clear. We gave you some formula last time, but how do you get number of equivalents? We figure out from it. Okay. Now let's talk about neutralization. This is pretty interesting. Okay. Neutralization kaise hai? Yeah. No. More than that, sorry. It's not about speed at all. Okay. I'm going to talk about that for a second. It's not about how fast you can solve a reaction. It's about how properly you can do it. Speed is not a concern. Speed is a consequence. Understanding is important. Speed आ जाती है. Speed is not a big deal. लोग समझते हैं speed. भाई speed तब आएगी जब concept समझ में आएगा ना. Focus on that. Speed आ जाएगी यार. Speed is not that important. Trust me on this. Concept आया speed आसानी से आ जाएगी. अगर speed के पीछे भागोगे, then you can falter. I have seen a lot of people do this. I have seen a lot of people skip steps, me included. That's not a smart thing to do at all. Let's talk about neutralization. Get back to the point. I've got an acid and I've got a base. They form a salt and water. This process is known as neutralization. But look at this carefully. Look at this carefully. I can write this as H plus and Cl minus as soon as I put it in water. Okay? Aqueous. And ये तो liquid है, so उसको रहने दो, ठीक है. That's crazy, isn't it? I've got HCl, which is a covalent compound, which is madness. You got a covalent compound, और तुम पानी में डालो, और भाई साहब ions बना देते हैं. Isn't this mad? Think about it. A covalent compound giving you ions. Dissociation. Ionization, in fact, not even ions. पहले थे नहीं, ions बन गए. We'll talk about this in chemical bonding. It's a mad, beautiful thing. When we do chemical bonding, हम लोग इसकी बात करेंगे. If you're impatient, my links are there below. You can check them out. Bento link or also there. You can check that out. Okay. Okay. Let's come back here. Yeah. मैं prove करना चाहता भाई ions हैं. ठीक है. यहाँ पे क्या है? Na plus and OH minus ions हैं. ठीक है. This is not a big deal. ये तो भाई, it is a very strong base, which means कि in its lattice structure, it has Na plus and whatever, OH minus ion जो भी है, ये सब है. ठीक है. वो solid pellets होते हैं NaOH के. उसको तुम पानी में डालो, तो बन जाता है ये ions. ठीक है. ये this is dissociation. I would call this process ionization because ions पहले थे नहीं, अब बन गए. इस process को मैं बोलूंगा dissociation. अब मैं इतना कहानी क्यों बता रहा हूं? Because look at this. ये सब करने के बाद जो पानी बनता है, this is just a covalent compound. But these retain their charge. So in a sense, पहले भी Na plus था, बाद में भी था, पहले भी Cl minus था, बाद में. So I can remove all that. And this is the overall equation. Do you follow this? Do you follow this? It's all right, Archita. No problem. Don't worry about it. Is this okay? Yeah. This is the point of why I took about 2-3 minutes to talk about Ram Kahani. H plus Cl minus Na plus OH minus. Yes, sab. And then we cancel out. These are called spectator ions that were there before the reaction. Reaction के बाद भी है, उनको कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, वो solution में पहले भी थे, अभी भी थे. So they don't matter to us. They are there, but they don't matter to our conversation. What matters to our conversation? H plus और OH minus combine करके पानी दे रहे हैं. Okay, what is this about? Okay, interesting, right? Very cool. Okay. मन्नत जी में इतनी हिंदी पढ़ना मुश्किल होता है. थोड़ा शॉर्ट में लिखो, टू द पॉइंट लिखो, काम की बात करो तो पढ़ेंगे. सॉरी, फोकस हम पढ़ाने में लगा है. आई ट्राई रीडिंग इट, सर के ऊपर चला गया. आई एम गोइंग टू गो बैक टू माय क्लास. ऑल बॉइल्स डाउन टू वाटर. लवली कोड आवा. इंट्रोड्यूस इन 10th. ग्रेट अर्चिता, गुड टू हियर. अब देखो 10th में क्या ये इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था. दिस इज द वंडरफुल थिंग हियर. ओके. ठीक है. हाँ, ओवरऑल पिक्चर अगर मैं बनाना चाहूं तो इसको, दिस इज गोना गेट अ लिटिल वियर्ड नाउ. या, थिंग्स आर इंटरेक्टिंग विद इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ऑल द वे. ओके, वेल इन दिस रिएक्शन दे आर नॉट. आई एग्री, राइट. H प्लस पहले था, अभी H प्लस नहीं है. OH माइनस पहले था, अभी OH माइनस नहीं है. ठीक है. सो what is happening is this guy is accepting electron, this guy is losing an electron. Hence you get O 2 minus and H plus stays as it is. ठीक है? So overall, one equivalent of hydrogen ions reacts with one equivalent of hydroxyl ions to form water. This is the point that we are trying to make. Okay? And just for that reason, that person is getting a timeout. Because time pass हम लोग करेंगे जितना Discord Telegram पे कर रहे हैं, not here. Your time is precious, and hence I shall not let anybody waste it. ठीक है? This is the point I was trying to make. One equivalent of hydrogen ions interacts with one equivalent of hydrogen ions to form hydroxyl ions to form water. Okay? So I can extend this to say कि एक equivalent acid का एक equivalent base साथ हमेशा react करता है. It doesn't matter अगर base एक आयन दे रहा है, दो आयन दे रहा है, तीन OH माइनस दे रहा है, या acid एक H प्लस दे रहा है, दो दे रहा है, तीन बार, it does not matter. One equivalent will always react with one equivalent. ठीक है, चलो एक क्वेश्चन ले लेते हैं हम लोग. The molar mass of an acid, this is a direct consequence of what we have just studied. Try and solve this. The molar mass of an acid is 82 gram per mole. 10 ml of a solution of this acid has 39 gram of acid in 1 liter of water. अच्छा, okay, this is getting confusing. ये लिखा क्या है? Molar mass है, ठीक है. और अच्छा, this is the strength. This is the strength of the acid, है ना? If they are talking about a ratio, there are 39 grams of acid in 1 liter. मतलब ये तो strength हो गया, right? Strength of solution हो गया. I have taught you this in the starting itself. Concentration term is strength, gram per liter. Okay. उसका मैं सिर्फ 10 ml लेता हूँ. Take only 10 ml of that. That gets neutralized by 9.5 ml of one normal NaOH solution. और आपको निकालना है equivalent weight of the acid. We can do this. Now I know normally लोगों का रवैया ऐसा होता है कि they will make you do small questions, hundreds of them. That's not my style. My style is to do one good question so you understand things inside out. Practice के लिए तो you have infinite things to practice. आप जहां जाओ practice कर लो, आकाश ऐप ले लो, wherever you want, you can practice hundreds of questions. Focus on learning this idea now. So there are 2-3 things happening here. What is the easiest thing जो आपको समझ में आता है? One equivalent of base should react with one equivalent of acid. You follow this? One equivalent base, base hunter वाला base लिख दिया हमने. Okay, reacts with one equivalent acid. This is fine. This is point number 1. What is point number 2? That we'll figure. But point number 1 is clear. Second point ये है, तो कितने equivalent है base के? How many equivalents of base exist? That I can calculate from this data. This is point number 2. One normal and 9.5 ml. If I multiply both of them, can't I get the amounts of equivalent of base? Say, I have volume into normality. That gives me equivalents. अब ठीक है, volume instead of liter, it is ml. So I will get milli equivalents. कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, ठीक है. But I will get the amount of base. Okay. Then using that, I will get अच्छा इतने ही base तो acid के आने चाहिए. ठीक है, that is the process to solve this question. Can you guys solve? Have you done something like this before? I'll help you solve it. Don't worry. But have you done this kind of thing before? Priya, sure. What's the EQ here? What do you mean EQ? EQ is equivalence. Normality is then redox reactions. Okay, cool. N is approximately 2. Shaurya, I was on fire. Good job, Shaurya. But मुझे एक और चीज चाहिए. Shaurya has almost got to the answer. Shaurya, can you go there a little bit to the next step and tell me what is the equivalent weight of the acid? You're almost there. You're almost there. It's okay, you have not done all this. नहीं किया तो कोई problem नहीं. Archita, student Dash and Abha. Looks like Shaurya ने किया है. Or if not, then he's figured it out, which is great. Shaurya, can you tell me what is the equivalent weight? Let Shaurya calculate. I'll tell you guys how to make this work. Okay. So I have got points 1 and 2. From points 1 and 2, I have got to this idea of base equivalent is 9.5 milli equivalent. Okay. Which is going to be equal to acid equivalent. Perfect. So there are 9.5 equivalents of acid. There are 9.5 equivalent of acid in 10 ml of acid. Fine, now because I took 10 ml. 10 ml of acid was taken, neutralized by 9.5. Okay. So then, no. Oh, Oh, I also have the concentration is 39 gram per liter. So I can somehow relate this to 9.5 equivalent per 10 ml. Somehow इससे हम लोग relate करके then I get gram by equivalent, which will give me equivalent mass. वही तो चाहिए. What is equivalent mass? The mass divided by equivalent. हो गया भाई. We have done this question. This is done, isn't it? It is done, guys. Okay, let's try. Let's try. What did I say? 9.5 milliequivalent acid is acid equivalent, which is going to be equal to 10 into N of acid. N of acid, I don't know, but I'll find out by doing this. Okay. Now, what is N of acid? I can write N of acid as M into N factor. Why? Why did I do this? Because I have this idea. Okay. I have 39 gram, which is the mass, divided by 82 gram per mole, which is molar mass. So if I divide both of these, I get moles of acid. Okay, I've got mole of acid. I divide that by volume of solution. I get molarity. You see where I'm going to? That is why I've done this. Cool. This is exactly how Shaurya calculated. Perfect. Good job, bro. 41 is the right answer. Yeah, absolutely, Shaurya. Good job. Baki log, Archita, student Ash, Abha, Priya, are we good on what we are doing so far? Okay. So I have not done anything complicated. मैंने बस जो अभी मैंने आपको पढ़ा exactly वही चीज की है. Nothing outside of what is we have done in this session has been used so far. ये जो मैंने लिखा है ऊपर, this is what I've substituted over here. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay, and the volume is 1 liter. Okay, so I have not written that down here. We can write into 1 liter. हम लोग लिख लेते हैं. ठीक है. So then essentially you get mole per liter. Gram gets cancelled out. Okay, units are perfect. Now, but there's ml over here. No problem. You'll get milliequivalent. Great. You cross multiply. Okay. Take 10 this side, take 39 this side, take 82 on top. This is n factor. This, if you calculate a little bit, comes out to be 2. This is approximately 1. This is approximately 2. So n factor has to be a whole number. It cannot be 1.5 or something. Well, it can be technically, but let's not talk about that. Abhi ke liye it is 2. It is 1.99, which is approximately 2. Once you get n factor to be 2, then substitute. If n factor is 2, there's nothing left to do in this question, is there? Is there? N factor is 2 or mass, molar mass is 82 gram per mole. Okay. N factor was what? Yeah. M into NF was equal to normality. अच्छा. अब molar mass और equivalent mass में बड़ा कौन सा होगा? याद आ रहा है? Molar mass is equal to equivalent mass into n factor. अब how do I know this? इसी equation से ना. What is m? M is gram divided by molar mass. I have just shown this to you. Okay. ऊपर मैंने आपको दिखाया था. The previous slides I've shown this to you. Gram by equivalent mass. तो उल्टा हो जाता है. So 82 by 2 will be 41, which is the answer. Cool. We good? Good job, Shaurya. जल्दी से करने के लिए. That's amazing. Everybody else on the chat, we good? Archita, student Ash, Priya, Abha, we all right? I know this may be relevant to you in redox reactions, or in fact, NEET में तो शायद ये पूछे भी ना, right? Equivalent concept शायद will not be tested. Most likely नहीं test होगा because NCERT में नहीं है ही. I could not find normality as such. Ash, okay. It's okay. It's okay. वो connect करने वाली बात ना थोड़ा तुम पढ़ोगे हो जाएगा, practice से हो जाएगा. But you figured out how this question was solved. With this, you should be able to do everything. I've done everything from first principles. Okay, nothing complicated. Let's do one more question. A 4 gram sample of an unknown monobasic acid is dissolved in 100 ml of water. 20 ml portion requires 15 ml of a 0.12 molar standard calcium hydroxide alkali solution to reach the end point. Titration की बात हो रही है भाई. बिना बताए ही टाइट्रेशन की बात हो रही है. Yeah, absolutely. Acid base और टाइट्रेशन ही हो रहा है ना. If molar mass of the acid is something, determine the percentage purity of the sample. तो JEE advanced type सवाल होगा. अरे कुछ नहीं होता है. JEE advanced सब मोह माया है. ठीक है. You can solve it too. It doesn't matter what exam you're preparing for. I told you. Any exam you like, whether it's BIT, SAT, SRM, VIT, जो exam है, this is relevant to you. It's not about difficulty, Shaurya. It's not in the syllabus. जेई में 100% पूछेंगे. नहीं, इट्स टू इजी फॉर जेई. आई मीन जेई भी बहुत आसान हो गया. शौर्य ब्रो, You can sleep and write JEE, right? तुमको NCERT मग करना है, that's all you have to JEE में. JEE Advanced में थोड़ा effort लगाना पड़ेगा, right? So this will help you for JEE Advanced, what I'm doing right now, and of course it'll help you for NEET and everything else also. See, what is tested in those exams is जो भी है, there is learning अलग है, testing अलग है, ठीक है? We are in the learning phase, तो ठीक से पढ़ाई कर लेते हैं. Testing phase में तो भाई you solve MCQs, there's no two ways about it. उसके लिए तो you have the Aakash app, करो download, फ्री में practice करो जितना करना है practice, ठीक है? Yeah. All right. How do we solve this question? There are three things happening here. Yeah, this is like one of those marathon questions. तीन चीजें हो रही है. पहली चीज, let's write them down. 20 ml sample requires 15 ml, and this is the molarity of the alkali. What alkali is this? CaOH whole twice. Okay. But ये sample आया कहां से? Similar to the last question. In this, my strength is 40 gram per liter because it is actually 4 gram and 100 ml, which is the same as 40 gram per liter. ठीक है? That's not important. I'm just writing down. Okay, cool. So what do we do now? अब करें क्या इसमें? Because ये monobasic acid है, can we do it using consider equivalents or shall we do with moles? कैसा करना चाहते हो आप लोग? Do you want to do with moles or equivalents? You tell me. Whichever way. We did the last one equivalents. We can try this one moles, right? Because CaOH whole twice का n factor is going to be equal to 2, right? Is that correct? Yeah. So moles will not cut it completely. See, moles of alkali is 15 into 0.12, which is 1.8 millimole. You guys solve. I'm helping you. Okay. Moles, you like moles? Harshita likes moles. We will start with moles and we will shadily move to equivalents. That's what we're going to do. Because here's the wonderful thing, Archita, and everybody else watching this not live or lurking, जो भी है. Essentially, it's a monobasic acid. मतलब कि एक मोल ही बनाता है H+. So whether I do equivalents or moles is the same thing. It doesn't matter, does it? In the interest of just keeping with the times, we will continue with equivalent का ही idea. But ठीक है, mole निकाल दिया. But if I continue with this, I may mess things up. I will have to balance the equation. Okay, I have some acid HA plus CaOH whole twice will give me, what does it give me? Give me water and Ca times A, and I need two of these guys, right? Because ये monobasic है. तो फिर उसको बैठ के बैलेंस करना पड़ेगा. बैलेंस कैसे करें भाई? बैलेंस मतलब दो यहाँ पे डालेंगे. क्या करें? That's it. बैलेंस हो गया क्या? That's wonderful. I don't think this balance is balanced. That's confusing. This cannot be balanced so easily. I don't like balance. I'm not gonna bother with this. ठीक है, balance नहीं करेंगे यार, छोड़ो. Okay, 1.8 millimole मिल गया. But okay, 100 ml कितना require करेगा? Okay, moles of alkali is this much. 100 moles will require what? 5 into 1.8, which is 9 ml. Why? Because this is in 20 ml of the solution. तो मुझे 5 गुना करना पड़ेगा. What did I do here? If 1.8 is there millimole in 20 ml, how many are there in 100 ml? That's all I did, right? Cross multiplication, unitary method. ठीक है? 1.8 into 100 divided by 20, which happens to be 9 millimole. Okay, so there are 9 millimoles of this alkali in 100 ml of the solution. Okay, but COH का n factor 2 है. Oh, so let's do equivalent. See, now we are doing moles, Archita and everybody else. Moles किया, but moles से हम लोग अब जाते हैं equivalent. अब moles की बात करिए. Moles is boring. Moles not interesting. N factor is 2, so we multiply this. Okay, we multiply this and we get this is the number of milli equivalents. Okay, N is M times N factor. Remember this equation. बाकी सब तुम लोग derive कर लेना. This is the main thing you keep in mind. So I have that. अच्छा, 100 ml में 18 मिली इक्विवेलेंट्स हैं. अब यही will give me the answer. Okay, monobasic acid मतलब जो 4 gram and 100 ml है, this has 18 milli equivalents. So therefore from this I will get the mass of the stuff reacted. But hold on, ये कुछ परसेंटेज प्योरिटी की बात कर रहे हैं. मतलब कि 4 ग्राम से थोड़ा कम हो सकता है. It is not all of the 4 gram that is the acid. कुछ impurities भी हैं. अब क्या करें? What do we do? Oh, we have the molar mass. Molar mass दिया हुआ है. Okay, let's do it one step at a time. I know it's supposed to have 18 milliequivalent, 18 millimole. Array, then I can get the mass now. 18 millimole times 122 gram per mole will give me the mass in 100 ml. You follow? Do you follow? I don't know, dude. Do I look like a neat counselor here? Just because you asked me to reply, I did. It's never going to happen again, buddy. Shaurya, Archita, Abha. Thank you, Shaurya. Lightning fast. Good job. I don't know if the answer is correct or not, but thank you for the answer. बहुत अच्छा है. देखते हैं. We'll see. Are you okay with what I have done so far? Archita, Abha, and Firefox. Okay, cool name, dude. Student Ash. How did I get 18 millimole? Yahan tak you're okay. We'll do the next line. I'll explain again. I'll explain the next line again. See, 20 ml में था 1.8 millimole. ठीक है? I converted that to 100 ml में कितना होगा? 9 millimole. Cross multiply किया. Then I used n factor to get कितना milli equivalent होगा. Then I said कि यार अगर बेस का इतना है तो एसिड का भी इतना ही होगा. Then I said okay. So acid का भी 18 milli equivalent होगा, which is same as 18 millimole because it is a monobasic acid, which means the n factor of acid is equal to 1. All right, cool. All right, great. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, all right, sweet. So now from here I can get कि कितना mass होगा actually इसका. Mass of one mole is 122 gram. Mass of 18 milli equivalent कितना होगा? It will be 18 or 122 divided by 1000 because I've been doing milli all this time, right? Milli equivalent or millimole is the same thing. So divide by 1000. Make sure you do that. Once you do this, then we can do purity. I will not multiply. Don't worry. We'll do that in the end. This is the actual mass of acid. Okay. From here, how do you get purity? Purity, I divide with the original mass. I have got this mass divided by 4 into 100 percentage. Now you tell me what is the percentage. Now you can cross multiply, do whatever you want to do. You get approximately 54.9, which is 55. Good job, Shaurya, on doing this correct. Very nice. Cool. Good job, Shaurya. Baki log all good? Yeah? आदित्य, नीट का पेपर था. P block का सेशन लेट क्यों रखा? Fair enough. Fair enough for you to demand this. There is a NEET paper that happened on Sunday. I'm solving that on 7th. 7th नहीं, आज date क्या है? आज 7 ना. On 9th, I'm solving that on 9th at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a couple of hours session. So P block का the advanced session will get pushed to Saturday. Yeah. Thanks for checking it out. It's there on the channel. We good? बढ़िया ना? देखो मोड कॉन्सेप्ट वेरी डूएबल. इससे ज्यादा मुश्किल चीज कुछ नहीं आएगी तुम्हारे लाइफ में. Okay? If you understand these things, you are done. This is all normality, titration, सब इसी में है. Let's do a fun question. Do we have time? We have a lot of time. Okay, let's do one boring question and then we'll do a fun one right after this. 0.2 gram of a metal M is completely dissolved in dilute H2SO4 and 185 ml of dry hydrogen gas was evolved. Calculate the equivalent mass of M. This is very doable. Bhavya, khelo kudo. If you want to read extra things, you know the books, right? Read 11th, 12th books if you want to. Sure, Archita. It's close to 55. Just a little bit of approximations. Or get on the Discord or Telegram server. We'll chat there, Bhavya. Yeah? I can tell you what to do. But make sure you take care of your health. That's the top priority. Mental and physical health. That's what conditions you for the big journey you're about to take. Cool? Yeah. So how do you start a question like this? Please tell me. इसको कैसे शुरू किया जाए? How do you start a question like this? 0.2 gram of metal M is completely dissolved in dilute H2S4 and 185 ml of dry hydrogen gas at STP was evolved. Okay, great. So I think what you can do is if you find somehow the equivalent of H2 formed, you will get the equivalent of H2SO4 also used. Hey, good evening, Zahir. How are you doing? Molarity moles. Okay. Okay. Pointers out, matlab? Karshita, yeah, it behaves a little weird. Yeah. How does that work? I think all you got to do is find the equivalent. So now we are equipped with equivalents, right? Equivalent of H2 nikalo. That's going to be the equivalent of acid. And which will then give you the same equivalent of M. That's it. That's it. Right? Sure. I can just directly say this. So I can write the equivalent of H2 formed is the same as the equivalent of M reacted. Yeah? Okay? Cool? All right, sure, yeah. This is a quick one. Exactly. Quick one. How do you get the equivalence of H2? Thanks for sharing that with me. ये हमने पहले सेशन में किया था. Right in the starting. Right? पहले दूसरे सेशन में. I think it was second session possibly. We said that 1 liter of any gas will have a volume of 22.4 liter. Sorry, 1 mole of any gas. Liter क्यों गया? 1 mole of any gas will have this volume, 22.4 liter. If the pressure is 1 atmosphere. If the pressure is 1 bar, then it will be 22.7 liter. ठीक है, मैंने pressure 1 atmosphere दिया है. So I can say that the moles of H2 is going to be 185 ml divided by 22.4 liter per mole. Okay, I'm just used to writing units. So liter हटा दो, milli still stays. Okay, let milli stay. So I'm getting 925 by 112. Yeah, whatever that is. 925 by 112 millimole, approximately. Approximately, right? I'll leave it as it is. I'm not कुछ नहीं हटा रहा हूं. I'll keep it like this. Ava, you're right. It's 22.7 if it is 1 bar. Okay, it is 1 atmosphere. 22.4. ठीक है? Cool. All right, wonderful. अब सबसे बड़ी चीज है कि एक हाइड्रोजन का जो मॉलिक्यूल है that will interact with 2 moles of electrons. Hence, I have written 2 equivalent per mole of what? Mole of H2 molecules. This is fine. कैसे मालूम ये मुझे? अब देखो, सोचो ये. I have H plus accepts electrons. बन गया H2 gas. Half looks scary. चलो 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दें. 2H plus 2 electrons gives me H2. Hence I said कि 1 mole H2 gas will require 2 electrons and that's why I'm multiplying this here. Got it, got it. भव्या, cool. बढ़िया, ठीक है, ले लेते. You're right, absolutely right, भव्या. बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने. 100%. Thanks, you're 9th standard, Bhavya. That's great. It's good you know this. Okay. So now the milli equivalent of H2 is this value. Ab ho gaya. Now the question is done. Now the question is done. What do we do next? We say that this is the milli equivalent of the M metal required. Okay. How do we get equivalent mass? Ab ye wala to baat bata do. How do we get equivalent mass from here? Equivalent mass is the molar mass, the given mass, divided by equivalents. That's it. Given mass क्या है? 0.2 gram. Equivalent क्या है? ये. Divide them both. 0.2 divided by 925 by 56. अब ये कितना वैल्यू आ रहा है? Oh, but ये मिली इक्विवेलेंट है. Okay. So I also need to multiply. मिली इक्विवेलेंट ऊपर है, मुझे इक्विवेलेंट चाहिए ना. I want equivalent top. I want मिली इक्विवेलेंट नीचे. Okay. Right? What do I need to do here? है ना? Okay, cool. So I need to have 1000 there. but since it's divided by ऊपर चला जाएगा. So this is the actual equation, right? Goes on top, comes out here. What's the answer then? What's the answer? Cool. Don't एक suggestion मेरा है अर्चिता and everybody else who is calculating, do the calculation in the end. Okay? Let fractions be fractions. उसके साथ don't mess with it. And if you substitute these things, क्या मिलता है आपको? What do you get the answer to be here? Please let me know in the next minute or so. Take your time. Take your time to do this. Yeah, this is doable. I feel कर सकते हैं. Yeah, it's a weird number, I know. Yeah, thank you, Archita. Lovely work. 12.12. Perfect. अब ये कौन सा मेडल होगा? Sometimes, हाँ आभा. Sorry about that. Not this time. Sometimes they do आभा. This time not so much. It's okay. Calculator use कर लो. I don't have a problem with it. Other people may have a problem with it, so I don't have a problem. Use कर लो calculator. बेझिझक use करो. अभी you are in the learning phase. Learn things properly. प्रैक्टिस करते हुए कैलकुलेटर मत यूज करना. लर्निंग फेज में जो करना है, यू नीड टू लर्न द कॉन्सेप्ट. बाय द वे, मैग्नीशियम का मास इज 24.3 आई थिंक, राइट? लेट्स चेक. याद नहीं आ रहा है मुझे. लेट्स चेक. Edge. By the way, here is a free promotion to this awesome site called ptable.com. It's a wonderful site. It's a periodic table. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's a wonderful site. You guys should check it out. It will really help you with chemistry, I feel. Yeah. It is obviously in no way connected to the company, and this is not a paid promotion of any sort. They're a very small company that maintains this, and I love it. I like what they do, so I'm sharing this with you. Okay, this is ptable.com. And what's the mass of magnesium? Oh, it's 24.3. Look at that. Look at that. I actually remember something. I'm pleasantly surprised. Generally, my memory is really bad. I'm old. You see that 24.3? That's the mass of magnesium, right? So we're probably talking about magnesium. Most likely we're talking about magnesium in this question. All right, sweet. Let's get back to this. Okay, cool. Time for a fun question. Time for a fun question. Yeah, absolutely, Abha. That's the only way to do maths. Right? In the end, you got to substitute. This is a fun question. I like this question. I had fun doing this. Gastric juice contains 3 grams of HCl per liter. If a human being produces 2.5 liters of gastric juice per day, then how many antacid tablets, each containing 400 mg of ALOH whole thrice, will be sufficient to neutralize the HCl completely? Yeah? Yeah. My P table was not open. Now, that's for you guys. I can open it anytime. It's literally the site, right? ptable.com. Okay, cool. Can we try this question out? This is awesome, right? Acidity hoti hai. So you take gastric juice, or not, you don't take gastric juice. You take ALOH whole thrice की tablets. एक tablet में होता है 400 mg. And gastric juice, this is not something you should do, okay? पूरा neutralize नहीं करना होता है. This is just an exaggerated question. 3 grams of HCl per liter. If a human being produces 2.5 liters of gastric juice per day, how many antacid tablets will be sufficient to neutralize the HCl completely? अब this is a warning to everybody जो डाइजीन और वो सब चीजें खाता है, ठीक है? There's a limit to the number of those things you can eat in a day. So don't eat more than 12-13 tablets. That could really mess up your stomach at one shot. Anyway, that could be really scary. Okay, I think I gave you the answer, but get to the answer correct by yourself. That was supposed to be at the end of the question, but khair, try karo. Right? It's a fun question, right? Yeah. So, I can write down the balance equation, but I don't need it. I don't need this balance equation. I just need to know this interacts with 3 electrons. Okay? So, the n factor here is going to be equal to 3. That's all I need to know. HCl ka n factor is going to be 1. Okay? That's it. That's what you have to do. So I'm going to keep solving this while you guys give me the answer. Abha! Let's see. Did you get that weird number? I got a very nice and neat number. Abha ne bahut jaldi kar liya. I love this. How do you do it so quickly, Abha? Can you help your friends? इक्विवेलेंट मास, इक्विवेलेंस ऑफ HCl कितना होगा? मोल्स इनटू बेसिसिटी। मोल्स कितने हैं इसके? मोल्स 3 ग्राम HCl पर लीटर। अच्छा, तो 3 ग्राम ऑफ HCl पर लीटर। HCl का मोलर मास क्या होता है? 1 + 35.5, यानी कि ग्राम पर मोल। ओह, 3 ग्राम बाय 36.5 ग्राम per mole. Okay, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So this tells you the number of moles. मोल ऊपर चला गया, ग्राम नीचे चला गया। बेसिसिटी 1 हो गई। ओके, बट एक मिनट, there is a bit of a concern here. There is also a liter in the denominator. ये लीटर डिनोमिनेटर में क्या? देखो 3 ग्राम पर लीटर है ना, लीटर डिनोमिनेटर, what do you do with that? Let's multiply with liter on top. 2.5 liter. Okay, perfect. Now everything gets cancelled out. मोल ऊपर चलो। Now I'm happy with this number, which is why I've written this. You see, कोई फॉर्मूला बग नहीं करना है, just units and dimensions से you figure it out. जो पसंद है रखो, जो नहीं पसंद है हटा दो। जो क्या नहीं पसंद है हम लोग को? We don't want liter, we don't want gram, we want what? We want mole on top. So hence, this is what your equation is going to be: 3 by 36.5 into 2.5. This is the equivalence of HCl, and I'll keep it like this. 15 by 73. 73 makes sense. 36.5 is हाँ, into 2 कर दो तो ठीक है। 3 into 7, 2.5 is 7.5, right? This is 7.5 by 36.5. I'll multiply both with 2. So I get 15 by 73 equivalent. Okay, perfect. This is going to be equal to the equivalence of AlCl3. But AlCl3 का एक tablet में कितना होगा? How many does one tablet have? Okay, so you have the mass of one tablet. Okay, cool. Divide by molar mass of AlOH whole thrice. Perfect. Into n factor. Please don't forget this n factor. In fact, यहाँ पे भी n factor था, but I've just taken that to be 1. Okay? n factor यहाँ पे डालो। Mass of one tab is 400 milligram. Molar mass यहाँ लिख दिया। n factor कितना हो गया? 3 हो गया। Write that down. So एक टैबलेट में होते हैं इतने इक्विवेलेंट। ओके, आई कैंसिल दैट आउट, कैंसिल स्टफ आउट, आई गेट 1 by 65. इज दैट राइट? जस्ट चेक एक बार, इज दिस करेक्ट? इज दिस करेक्ट? 400 divided by what was the mass here? Let us just cross check that. 78. Is the 78 correct? Plus 27. Always good to cross check. 27 plus 48 plus 3. No, yeah, I think I messed up the mass. That's why I was getting a beautiful number. Because आपने कुछ अलग बोला। नहीं, 78 सही तो है भाई। 48 by 400 by 7, हाँ सही है, ठीक है, cool है। So how did I? Oh, into 3. अच्छा, into 3. Right, into 3. That is 200 by 13. Okay, cool. You were rounding off. Okay, हाँ, round off क्यों किया भाई? Okay, cool. कर दिया, अब क्या करें? ठीक है। 13.35, ठीक है, सही है। हाँ, 200 by 13. Okay, cool. But this is milligram. We also have to divide by 1000 in the end. अच्छा, ठीक है। I'll tell you what we did here. Okay, this is in milligram. I don't want milligram, and I want gram. Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We will do 1 gram and we will do 1000 milligram. Now I'm happy. Milligram गया, gram गया, mole ऊपर गया, and 3 is what? 3 is the number of equivalents per mole. Now mole भी गया, सिर्फ equivalent बच गया। ठीक है? Once you do this, you get 1 by 65. देखो, कुछ कैंसिल नहीं करना है। I mean, सिर्फ कैंसिल करना है, कुछ we have not made any approximation so far. We have written hard numbers. Number of tablets कितने हो गए? Okay, 15 by 75 मैंने लिख दिया, it should be 73. Right, this is the approximation I made. You're right, 13.35. This is the last approximation I made. It is 15 by 73, but मैंने 15 by 75 लिख दिया, and hence I got the number 30. What you have done also is correct. Yes, शौर्या, आभा, बिल्कुल सही किया आप लोगों ने, बिल्कुल, you guys are perfect. I scam, मैंने scam किया. My scam was, in the end I took 15 by 73 as 15 by 75, which gives me a nice number 13. Okay? Yeah. No, Abha, that's good. तुम लोग आराम से पेन एंड पेपर पे करो. I am old, so I'm being lazy and I'm just teaching how to do things. You guys do, आराम से करो, practice करो. Okay, good job, Shaurya and Abha. These are not easy questions, but you're doing them very quickly, which means you're awesome. Okay. Ash, Archita, we good? Hanging on? समझ में आ रहा है क्या चल रहा है? समझ में आ रहा है? तो प्रैक्टिस करते रहो, हजारों सवाल तुमको मिल जाएंगे करने के लिए. ऑल दोज यूल डू. Lovely. Last question for the day. All right, fun time. Thanks for your input. Last question for the day. बड़ा सवाल है भाई. 3 gram sample containing SrCO3, MO and some impurity. Impurity आ गया यार फिर से. On heating reduces to 2.56 gram. हाँ? गर्म करने पे मास कम हो गया. अच्छा. You see, and the residue contains this percent of the impurity by mass. Okay. तो 2.56 का 15% is the impurity. Okay. The residue was dissolved in 100 ml of normal HCl solution. Normal मतलब one normal, ठीक है, one normal HCl. And the excess acid क्यों? देखो हमने क्या किया. We've heated SrCO3, and when you heat it, what happens is कि it decomposes to form this. So this is the mass of CO2 which is lost. तो ये जो कम हुआ है mass is because of this. So this is 2.56. This plus क्या बोलते हैं इसको? This plus impurity. These 3 things. Okay, I'll write down answer. 1, 2 and 3. ये तीनों साथ में impurity हो गया. Okay, ठीक है. Residue has 15.6% impurity by weight. So out of 2.56 into 15.625 is the impurity. Okay, cool. And जो residue था उसको मैंने HCl में डाला, मतलब ये दोनों बचा ना, SRO and MO. HCl में डालने के बाद बहुत ज्यादा एसिड डाल दिया. I have randomly put 100 ml. मेरी मर्जी भाई, मैंने डाल दिया. अब यार 100 ml तो चेन था नहीं इसको. It did not need 100 ml to get neutralized. So some acid is left over extra. जो extra acid था, that requires NaOH कुछ amount. It requires 32 ml of 1.25 normal HCl for back titration. इसका मतलब हुआ back titration. मतलब मैंने excess HCl डाल दिया. Some of it reacts with the thing that I wanted to react. A lot of it is left over. The part that's left over, that is titrated against NaOH. इसलिए इसको back titration बोलते हैं. तो extra था वो हो गया. ठीक है. करना क्या है? Find out the atomic weight of the unknown metal M. Why bro? ठीक है, कर लेंगे. We'll do it. Abha, no one's eating 18 tablets per 13 tablets. I think you're a bio student, right? So you'll know कि 13 tablets per day चल सकता है, maybe, but 13 tablets एक time में नहीं चलेगा, right? Because all the acid gets neutralized. But this is all hypothetical. Please don't eat 13 tablets ever in a day or over 10 days also. इतना मत खाना. But yeah, I think your body regenerates it, right? Acid बनता रहता है. I'm not great at bio. Anyway, so what are we doing in this question? I'll help you solve this. If you अगर आपको फंडा समझ में आएगा, please go ahead solve it. अगर मुश्किल लग रहा है, I'm here. I'll solve this. I'll walk you through this one. Okay. So the difference in mass is because of the gas that escapes. Then impurity plus mass of MO plus mass of SrCO3 will be equal to, all of this is equal to 3 gram initially. ठीक है. Cool. Back titration क्या भला होती है? I already told you. Back titration मतलब इतना मैंने excess HCl ले लिया, but कितना excess लिया? The main thing is moles or equivalents, right? So I'll talk in terms of equivalents. The milli equivalent of HCl is this much. उसमें से कितना हुआ? जो excess बच गया, some reacts, and what is left over is titrated by this much. So then you know, अच्छा, this is also the milli equivalent of acid. That finally gets left behind. Okay. Lastly, I will subtract इसमें से this to get the actual milli equivalent of acid that reacted both of this. Do you understand point number 5? This is the main thing. Back titration का मतलब है ये point number 5 on top, which is जो ज्यादा HCl था उसमें से कुछ react किया, कुछ react करना है तुमको निकालना है, but I don't know that directly. So indirectly I find it out. How? Because जो बच जाता है that I titrate with NaOH. So okay, so 100 minus what reacts with NaOH will give me this, what is remaining. That is what this is on top. We'll put some numbers to it. Don't worry about it. Let's start this question. All right, Abha is on fire, bro. लुक एट दैट 16, लवली लवली लवली, थैंक यू ऐश, डोंट वरी, कर लेंगे साथ में, सब कुछ मजे मजे में कर लेंगे। ऐश, यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? Why is there a difference in mass? Mass must be conserved. How is mass not conserved? You have read this, no? Magnesium and oxygen, when you react, magnesium ribbon, उसका mass बढ़ जाता है, क्यों? Because it interacts with oxygen from there. This is the opposite of that. I take SrCO3, I heat it, CO2 निकल जाता है, CO2 निकल गया तो mass कम हो गया। Okay, so this is, and इसका N factor is 2, because MO दिया है, MO मतलब M oxide, right? अगर ये MO2 देता तो N factor 4 हो जाता, अगर ये M2O देता तो N factor 1 हो जाता। So this is what you have to analyze, that N factor is 2. These are the two main things to notice right away without doing any calculation, कुछ नहीं, right away। डिफरेंस इन मास कर लेते हैं, हम क्या फर्क पड़ा, देखो 0.44 ग्राम, ब्यूटीफुल नंबर्स, वंडरफुल नंबर्स, आई विल कैंसिल आउट। 0.01 मोल हो गया ये, क्यों? क्योंकि CO2 का मास कितना होता है, 12 plus 16 into 2, which is 44 gram per mole, right? So 0.44 gram is just 0.01 mole. Wonderfully made question. It's a beautiful question. Okay, cool. अब क्या करें? अगर इसका 0.01 मोल था तो इसका भी 0.01 होगा, इसका भी 0.01 होगा। अरे वाह! Then we know initially SrCO3 कितना था, वही तो चाहिए। SrCO3 कितना था? SrCO3 था, MO था, right? Okay, तो SrCO3 initially कितना था? 0.01 मोल, which is कितना होगा बताइए? 88 मैंने स्ट्रोंशियम का मास दे दिया आपको, 12 है कार्बन का मास, दिस इज 3 ऑक्सीजन 48, तो दिस टर्न्स आउट टू बी हाउ मच, दिस इज 148, लवली नंबर्स अगेन, देखो 148 ग्राम पर मोल, मतलब 1.48 ग्राम हो गया। फाइनली नाउ वी आर गेटिंग समवेयर, नाउ आई नो दिस इज 1.48 ग्राम, आई डोंट नो दिस, एंड आई कैन एक्चुअली गेट इंप्योरिटी का मास भी निकाल सकते हैं। इंप्योरिटी का मास कैसे निकालें? Impurity का mass will be 15.625 into 2.56. I told you this, right? This is what it means. सवाल ठीक से पढ़ो। Residue contains 15.625% of the impurity by mass. Residue क्या था? 2.56 ग्राम, multiply करो। Again you get a beautiful number. You get 0.4 ग्राम। अब तो हो गया लाइफ आसान, अब लाइफ हो गई आसान। So now out of 3 ग्राम 0.4 ग्राम हो गया रेसिड्यू, 1.48 ग्राम हो गया SrCO3, बचा क्या? MO। MO कितना हो गया? MO का मास इज 3 ग्राम माइनस द समेशन ऑफ बोथ ऑफ दीज, दिस इज इंप्योरिटी, दिस इज SrCO3। ओके, सो बचा MO का मास 1.12 ग्राम। नाउ वी विल डू व्हाट Abha said. Abha got 60 milliequivalent. How did Abha get 60 milliequivalent? That's a good job. How did she get that? इक्विवेलेंट ऑफ HCl कितना हो गया? 100, सिंपल हो गया। इक्विवेलेंट ऑफ NaOH सिंपल कितना है? 1.25 into 32, मतलब 32 का 5/4 टाइम्स, राइट? 1.25 होता कितना है? दिस इज 1.25, 25% ज्यादा, मतलब 32 into 5/4। आई कैन डू दिस वेरी इजीली, राइट? 4 8 जा 8 5 जा 40, मतलब ये हो गया 40, 100 minus 40 हो गया 60 मिली इक्विवेलेंट। गुड जॉब Abha, फुल मार्क्स टू Abha for figuring that out quickly. 60, perfect, good job. Shaurya, thanks for the answer. 28, okay, good, cool, we'll see. Hey, Hare Krishna Rishabh, how you doing? Subtract that now. Good. Subtract करने के बाद हमको 60 मिली इक्विवेलेंट मिला जो करने के लिए, then you are done, no? So 60 मिली इक्विवेलेंट will be, अच्छा नहीं, रुको, 60 मिली इक्विवेलेंट will not be equal to MO. 60 मिली इक्विवेलेंट is what reacts with MO and SRO. Just when we thought we were done. Okay. We can do this. Okay. देखते हैं क्या होगा। 60 मिली इक्विवेलेंट मतलब कि इक्विवेलेंट ऑफ SrCO3 0.01 मोल कितना था? Because this is 0.01 मोल now. We can do this. 20 मिली इक्विवेलेंट. Why? Because इसका n फैक्टर तो 2 हो गया ना। If this का n factor is 2, then number of equivalents will be twice of number of moles, which is 0.02 equivalent, which is 20 मिली इक्विवेलेंट। अब आया ऊंट पहाड़ के नीचे। 60 मिली इक्विवेलेंट ऑफ एसिड रिएक्टेड, उसमें से 20 ले गए SRO भाई साहब, राइट? SrCO3 ले लो, SRO ले लो, सब सेम इक्विवेलेंट है ना। दैट इज द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल थिंग अबाउट इक्विवेलेंट्स, यू डोंट हैव टू बैलेंस ऑल द इक्वेशन। यहां 2 है 4 है कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। अगर यहां एक इक्विवेलेंट है व्हाटएवर 0.01 व्हाटएवर, अगर यहां पे 20 है तो ये भी 20 होगा, खत्म। ओके, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज बिकॉज़ इट केम फ्रॉम हियर इटसेल्फ। परफेक्ट। MO ऑन द अदर हैंड, ये कितना हो गया? ये हो गया 40, राइट? So 40 milli equivalents. There is point number 5 which we figured out. 40 milli equivalents बचे इसके। हाँ, हो गया। 40 मिली इक्विवेलेंट्स आर 1.12 ग्राम। अब निकाल लो मोलार मास। अरे उफ, अब कैसे निकालें मोलार मास यार? इससे तो मुझे मास निकल जाएगा MO का। आई विल गेट द मास ऑफ MO टू बी 50। नो, दिस इज नॉट इट। हाँ, MO का इक्विवेलेंट मास वी आर गेटिंग टू बी 28। बिल्कुल सही था आभा, दैट वाज MO का इक्विवेलेंट मास। ओके ओके ओके, बट हमको M का निकालना है, M का निकालना है। यश नीलांजन, यू बहुत बहुत, यू आर वेरी ब्रेव टू स्टार्ट विद एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर। नो अर्चिता, इट्स नॉट अबाउट मार्क्स। इन माय क्लास मार्क्स का कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है। आई एम अ वेरी डिफरेंट टीचर। यू आर नॉट गोना फाइंड अ टीचर लाइक मी दुनिया में, एंड दैट्स नॉट अ पॉजिटिव थिंग और नेगेटिव थिंग, इट्स जस्ट अ थिंग। I believe in teaching you things properly. I don't care for marks. That's somebody else's problem. ठीक है? In fact, that's your prerogative. You have to figure out your marks. I'm here to teach you things properly. Marks उसके बाद तुम depends on your practice. You have to learn properly first. ठीक है? Good job, Abha. Huge round of applause for Abha. Okay, 28 बहुत सही किया. Okay. हाँ, अर्चिता, give it time. As Abha said, just give it time. बिल्कुल सही आमा। What she's saying makes sense. थोड़ा पढ़ के आओ, क्लास में डाउट्स पूछो। That's how it has to be. Is Abha saying AIEEE or IE? I think she's saying IE, but I get PTSD from AIEEE for doing it. Okay. Rushabh is giving Maharashtra CET. Congrats man. All the best for it. PYQs कर रहे थे। हाँ भाई, महाराष्ट्र CET का एक सिंपल चीज है, पिछले 10 साल के पेपर लो, सॉल्व करो, सिमिलर क्वेश्चन आएंगे। मेन जेई मेन सब सेम ही है यार। Maharashtra CET is cool. Okay. This is the fun part. अब देखो, इसका 28 आ गया। अब क्या करें? मोलार मास निकाल लो वापस फिर से थोड़ा सा। लेट्स डू सम समरसॉल्ट्स। फ्रॉम 28 ग्राम मोलार मास 56। अच्छा, अब हो गया लाइफ। नाउ वी फिगर इट आउट। M जो मोलार मास हो गया इसका 56, राइट? नाउ MO हैज अ मास ऑफ 56, उसमें से 16 हटा दो, -16, so that is 40 now is the mass of M, है ना? हमको वही तो निकालना था ना। We needed atomic mass of M, not the equivalent mass, and जो 28 निकला है that is the equivalent mass of MO, the salt, और salt का N factor होता है, alright, 2 because it's MO, so 56 is the mass of the salt, और उसमें है एक ऑक्सीजन एटम। एक ऑक्सीजन एटम मतलब 16 है, सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दो, मोलार मास हो गया 40। What atom is this? Calcium. And scene. That was a fun question, wasn't it? That's it. You're sorted for JEE Advanced, dude, with this. Sorry, I know. मैंने नीट के स्टूडेंट्स को यहाँ बुलाया। JEE Advanced? Nah, I told you this is a learning phase. Learning सबके लिए same है. Questions अलग-अलग होते हैं सबके. With this, you're sorted for. You're like you have like crazy command over the whole of mole concept with this 6 sessions. Calcium है, exactly, Abha. Yeah. Hey Divya, what's up? Yeah, student Ash. देख यार, since I get to spend little time with you, यहाँ spoon feeding नहीं होती है मेरे साथ, ठीक है? We get on with it. You have to read the NCERT. And as Abha said, before a class happens, पढ़ के आओ. This is very different from 10th standard. I'm going to spend 2 minutes giving you ज्ञान because it's important. ये ज्ञान बहुत जरूरी है, स्टार्टिंग में ही जरूरी है। एक साल बाद ये ज्ञान देने का कोई फायदा नहीं है। देखो, सिलेबस बहुत वास्ट है। द ओनली वे टू कीप अप इज टू रीड रेगुलरली, अदरवाइज लोग बैकलॉग की बात करते हैं, ये हो गया वो हो गया। एंड ऑन द अदर साइड ऑफ स्पेक्ट्रम देयर आर पीपल टेलिंग यू यार जेईई मेन एग्जाम आसान है, नीट एग्जाम आसान है। वो आसान इसलिए लगता है क्योंकि लोग सिलेबस पूरा कर लेते हैं। अगर सिलेबस पूरा नहीं किया है तो कहां से आसान होगा, है ना? दैट इज योर कंसर्न, एवरीबॉडीज कंसर्न। सो 10 to 11 का जंप इज अ लॉट, इट्स अ क्रेजी जंप। द वे टू नेविगेट इट इज to do things little by little. थोड़े से, बूंद बूंद से तो बनता है ओशन। I've just realized मैंने खाना नहीं ऑर्डर किया है। I'm supposed to order food half an hour back. Yeah, you get all this fun entertainment with me. Anyway, so yeah, try and read a little bit. 15 मिनट डेली से you have some, कितना एक क्लास में कोई टीचर एनसीईआरटी के 3, 4, 5 पेज पढ़ाएगा। वो 3, 4, 5 पेज पढ़ के चले जाओ ना। और ऐसा नहीं कि टीचर तुमको नहीं बताएगा क्या पढ़ाएगा, ऐसा कोई टीचर नहीं है, ठीक है? They all teachers are quite nice. Sure, their lives are a little hard because that's how it is, right? But you ask them, sir or ma'am, what are you going to teach in class? They'll tell you. एंड एक हफ्ते का पूरा प्लान उनका होगा, उनका तो पूरा 6-6 महीने का प्लान होता है. आस्क देम, नोट इट डाउन समवेयर, थोड़ा पढ़ लो यार, 5-5 पेज फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ्स, बायो चारों कर लो, ठीक है. 20 पेज पढ़ने पड़ेंगे एक दिन में. हाउ मच इज 20 पेजेस? यू मे अंडरस्टैंड सम थिंग्स, यू मे नॉट अंडरस्टैंड, इट्स ओके. पढ़ के जाओ, लाइफ बहुत आसान होगी. ठीक है. Everybody feeling that this class was a little difficult, you need to read up on NCERT. And yeah, the things I'm teaching you takes you all the way to JEE Advanced, which means कि I've taught you everything you need to know from the theory point of view. Questions आपको खुद practice करने पड़ेंगे. You have enough resources for it. The first step is NCERT inside out. Then this is for NEET sufficient. If you're doing JEE Main, please do exemplar questions also. Okay, NCERT exemplar. And for later sessions where I do other things with you, या कोई मैं पढ़ाऊं कोई भी पढ़ाए, doesn't matter, right? But read the lab manual. And if you want to interact with me outside of this class, come to Telegram, come to Discord, and जो भी doubts होंगे, students will answer. Okay, thank you so much for your time. See you all. Good night. And if you want to see NEET के 50 जो questions थे chemistry के कैसे थे, 7 o'clock on Thursday I'm doing that. And मिलेंगे हम लोग, फिर मिलते रहेंगे. अगला I'll do atomic structure, I think, with you guys. I'll see actually. I don't want to do atomic structure. It's crazy, right? But ठीक है, we'll see. Maybe I'll do atomic structure. Maybe I'll do periodic. देखते हैं. We'll see. All right. See you all. Have a good one. Bye. Good night.